Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the Common Council meeting. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ow.
Okay, roll call, please, Carol.
Steve Beardsley is absent. Brant Fuller. John Large.
Present.
Joe Palmer.
Present.
Megan Sheets.
Present.
Clarence Worthen.
Present.
Eric Woods.
Present.
I just want to remind everyone to make sure you use your microphones.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have the minutes from November 13th, 2023 regular meeting.
I'll make the motion. We approve the minutes of November 13th.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Brant Fuller.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, minutes passed. It's now time for public comments. I just have one person that's signed up. If you want to speak, you need to sign up on this sheet. I don't know if there's anyone else that wants to. We ask that you limit your talk to 3 minutes, so. And I think, Mr. Rodriguez, you're the only one that I have down right now. Oh, you got down to 2? Good, good.
A minute for questions. Ed Rodriguez, 11746 Lawndale Avenue, Plymouth, Indiana, 46563. Worthy city leaders and the general public, it's always great to have an opportunity to speak at Old Stony. I mean, this is truly a landmark in Indiana. La Voz Unida is an organization that is dedicated to the advancement of Indiana Senate Bill 248. The bill proposal is for a driving privilege card for those that cannot obtain a state-issued driver's license in the state of Indiana. In our presentation in November, we mentioned that we are very transparent and open about the progress with our work to avoid misinformation and rumors. We met with the 2 co-authors of the proposal and have learned that due to the Indiana State House upcoming legislative session being a non-fiscal year, it is possible that this bill will not be heard in 2024. Senator Dorio will present the bill, but has warned us of this possibility. The senators ask that we continue our work with real grassroots government officials such as yourselves to garner support through city resolutions. It is through these efforts that we feel that the next time that we present the bill proposal, we will be in a very good position. It is our goal that the city of Frankfort provide us with this work in February of 2024. We would encourage you to look around the chambers, outside and up the stairs and into the foyer to see the presence of your neighbors, your friends, and your coworkers. Our community includes all of us, and all those present care about Frankfort and enjoy living here. We recognize that no one in this building will vote in Indianapolis when this bill is finally heard. We only ask for your support in showing our legislators that Frankfort does care. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there questions or?
Does anybody have any questions or anything for him? Questions? Okay. I do want to make it known that we are not going to do the resolution tonight. So we did not get that prepared for this evening. Okay. Thank you.
If it's okay, Mayor, we were planning on returning in February because I know next month you're probably going to swear in some members and maybe do some government
Yes, we'll
work.
have new members January 1st of next year, and then we'll have new committees. And so there will be a lot going on in January at the
Yeah,
first of the
so
year.
if it's okay with you guys, us coming back in February, would that be okay? to request? it?
Sure.
I'm not gonna
You're
be
not going to be
here.
here.
We're just
Yes.
trying to plan
Yes.
out our calendar for 2024, and so we'd like to, if it's okay, be on the agenda.
Yeah,
I think Esmeralda does a great job in communicating with your office, so.
she does. She does very well. Okay,
I don't know, the public is always welcome to come.
always,
And
yeah.
have this opportunity to speak, so you certainly don't need our permission to do that in
Yeah.
February.
Okay. I thought maybe a recap in February as to, how the progress, because session will be starting late January, early February, so we may have at least an update as to what the Senate bill, standing is
Yeah.
in February.
Yeah, because like she said, anyone can speak as long as you sign in when you come here and you have 3 minutes, so. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for everyone for coming this evening to the meeting. Like I said, we're not going to go ahead and introduce the resolution this evening, but we'll see what happens after the first of the year. We have a couple of members that are no longer going to be on the council, so we'll have a new council at that time. We have a couple of them around here.
Does that mean I can speak for 3 minutes? Or does it have to be someone, government official?
Generally speaking, if you want to speak, there's a sign up sheet for public comment. So if you do want to speak, you would need to sign up for that. We can go ahead and have
Yeah,
you sign up
I'm
for
okay
that
if
if you
you'll
want
sign
to. But usually that's located
Right outside the
right
door.
outside.
Yeah.
So if you want to come and sign up, that's all right.
Here's a pen, Jenny.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
So I just want to share my experience with you guys.
Right here.
you can
Come
come.
up to the podium.
Name and address.
My name is Jenny Moreno. My address is 720 East County Road, 100 North, Frankfurt. And many of you guys know me as Tornado Roofing. Okay, many of you guys know that I've lived in this community for years. I've been living in this community since I was 14 years old. I graduated from Frankfurt High School. I own my own business now. And my goal, sorry, I'm shaky, I'm nervous. My goal has always been to be part of this community and to be, to support this community the way the community has supported me. And I was 18 years old, so that would have been about 30 years ago almost, when my mother fixed her documentation to be here. Now she's a U.S. citizen. My siblings are too, but because I was 18 at the time that she was able to fix her documentation, I was left out of the picture for being over 18. So I couldn't get a license because of that. But then 2 years after that, there was a natural disaster in my country in El Salvador. I'm from El Salvador. It's a very tiny, small country, smaller than the size of Indiana. So because of that natural disaster, I was able to fix a TPS work permit here in the United States. And I got granted temporary protected status in 2001. And ever since then, I've had that. I have to renew it every 18 months. And I have to be constantly renewing my driver's license every 18 months. Sometimes my work permit expires, and I don't get the new one until 3-4 months after the old one expired. That means I cannot go to the license branch to renew my license until I get my new work permit. So one time I got pulled over, and I think I didn't have the lights on, and the police officer asked me, "Oh, you need to go renew your driver's license." So, and I just said, "Oh yes, I will," but because I didn't want to explain to him I have to wait for my new work permit, because it would have been too long of an explanation. But long story short, now I'm on the process of my permanent green card, because in order to have a green card, I had to wait until my son turned 21. Now my son is 21. Actually, I have a 21, a 22, and a 23-year-old now. But because of that, I'm able to actually fix my status from temporary to permanent. I know a lot of people are not as lucky as I am, or as lucky as my family is, that they have been granted citizenship a long time ago. And that's why I'm here in support of them, because I know there's a lot of hardworking people here that all they need, all they want is to look for that route, but that route can take 20 to 50 years sometimes. If for a sibling to be able to give status to another sibling. Right now, in the case of Mexican people, the wait period is 50 years. People from El Salvador, there's a shorter period, waiting period, because it's such a small country, there's not very many of us here. But I just wanted to, make you aware of that, and thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Esmeralda. Thank you.
She just said thank you all very much, and she's gonna explain everything upstairs.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Taking your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all for listening.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. I didn't either.
The new one coming in right there, sir. New one coming in right there.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Yep.
Sharp girl.
Jenny, she is a good girl. Yep. And she's made something of herself.
Come a long way.
Yeah. Yes.
I did not know that. I didn't either. Yeah. What happened? Yeah. Yep.
I don't know about anybody else, but I'm about to burn up.
So it sounds like she's legal, but she has time lapses when she can't have a license. That don't sound right.
Yeah, I mean, the country has to be able to apply.
They're standing out there.
Oh.
They're just, I
She's
think,
been
waiting
here all
until the
these years
crowd
and she hasn't
clears.
become a citizen yet.
She couldn't until she turned, her son turned 21, she said. Her youngest son turned,
I hear.
You hear?
Yeah, I hear.
take up to 50 years to be able to get it.
Okay. Are we ready to proceed? Okay, next on the agenda, we have a public hearing for ordinance number 23-18. I'm going to recess the council meeting at this time and open the public hearing at 7:13. Is there any questions, comments on this ordinance? Anybody want to speak to it, or do you want to just mention real briefly what it's about?
This is for the fire truck for the proposed new station, and it is a pumper truck, correct, Alicia?
I think so.
Yeah, this is for the pumper. This is for the
It's
pumper.
it's the less expensive of the pumper and the Quint.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yes.
And this would be part of the purchase price.
Right, right. $476,937. And that's the additional appropriation out of city general. Now, there is a possibility we wouldn't use all that additional appropriation depending on what we decide to do with the ARPA funds. So, but it's not going to hurt to go ahead and do this, and then if we don't use it all, it's not a big deal. At least we've already got it, so. Okay, is there any other questions or comments? Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing at 7:15 and reopen the council meeting. Ordinance number 23-18 on second reading, additional appropriation ordinance for the fire truck.
I'll move to pass ordinance 2318 on second reading.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Brant Fuller, John Large,
Aye.
Joe Palmer,
Aye.
Megan Sheets, Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, ordinance number 23-18 passes on the second and final reading. And then you will send that into
Gateway to the DLGF.
the DLGF. Okay. Okay, next I will recess the council meeting again for the public hearing on resolution number 23-28 at 7:16. And this is the confirmatory resolution designating an economic revitalization area. Is there any questions or comments? Did you have anything, Alicia?
This was just for the Donaldson tax abatement.
Does anybody have any other comments? Okay, I'll close the public hearing at 7:17 and reopen the council meeting for resolution number 23-28.
I'll move we pass resolution 23-28.
I'll second.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Brant Fuller.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, resolution number 23-28 passes. Next on the agenda, we have ordinance number 23-17, and this is second reading. It's an ordinance amending the City of Frankfurt ARP plan. Did you have anything to say about that, Carol? Or
Just a reminder that this is a requirement with the ARP funds that we have an ordinance that includes a plan that matches our actual spending. And we will see this again next year because there is still some uncommitted funds. But in order to stay compliant with those federal mandates, we need to update this as we spend money.
we probably will have a change in that, won't we? Because possibility of the fire truck.
Yes.
I'll make the motion, we pass ordinance 23-17 on second and final reading.
I'll second.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Brant Fuller.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Ordinance number 23-17 passes on the second and final reading. Next on the agenda, we have ordinance number 23-19, and this also is second reading. It's an ordinance to establish the number of reserve officers pursuant to Indiana Code 36-8-3-20.
I'll move to pass ordinance 2319 on second reading.
Second.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Brant Fuller.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance number 23-19 passes on the second and final reading. Next on the agenda, we have ordinance number 23-20, and this is on first reading.
Make a motion we read by title only.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Brant Fuller.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
City of Frankfurt Common Council Ordinance Number 23-20, an ordinance amending and restating ordinance number 23-14, setting the salaries and hourly wages for employees of the civil city of Frankfurt, Indiana.
Would you like to have a discussion on this, or would you?
What,
like to-
why these changes? Just curious.
So we had a couple of changes requested by the police department. The crossing guards that are listed on the salary ordinance were not included in the raise that every other line item got. And then also Chief Shoemaker did have a title change for one of his positions from systems administrator to crime scene investigator. So those are incorporated. And then I asked for a couple of changes. The state has now required that our city court is compliant with some technology that is going to cost a fair amount that we do have money in the budget for this year. And along with that, our court clerk, which who is in my office, is going to be responsible not only for that technology, but she also has to become an actual court reporter. So basically, the state's requiring these smaller courts have the same standards as the county courts. So that is going to require more work for her. And a little rationale about kind of the late hour on this was I did just find this out about the state. They came out with this at the end of October, and then we had some conversations with Judge Beardsley, my court clerk, and the mayor to try to figure all of this out. And I realized the level of engagement she's going to have in this, and it's going to change her job description significantly enough that for a raise. which I had requested on here. And then I also have, we currently outsource our bank reconciliations, which we've done for several years. And the agency that we're using for that right now, I believe is just too overpriced. So I'm going to be working with my accounts payable deputy, Ms. Beth Tharp, back in the corner. And we're going to do a significant amount of that in-house now, with Beth taking on a considerable portion of it. So I did want to have her salary compensate her for that as well. And I was going to talk to you all about that a little later on, but since we're doing this salary ordinance amendment for these other changes, I felt like I should probably incorporate it here and go ahead and try to start it at the first of the year, because that'll line up nicely with our contract, with the end of our contract with the outside agency.
And those increases, Carol, you've requested are in order of your addressing the jobs are $3,000 and $5,000.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. And the 5,000, I believe we can cover with our professional services money and the clerk treasurer budget. And then the court clerk funds, I will figure out how to cover that out of my budget. We'll, if this is approved, we'll be coming back to you with some transfers to accommodate that. One other thing is, we can pass this in 2 readings, correct? Ms. Albertson? I was going to request that if we could pass this in 2 readings tonight so that we can start everything January 1st.
So we would have to suspend the rules and then also pass it on first.
Does anyone else have any other questions that I didn't cover sufficiently or in addition?
The only comment I would make, and perhaps it should be when it's time to put it in form of a motion, but in particular, the accounts, the bank reconcilement, you're going to a different methodology about that, which is warranting the additional 5,000. But if you find that game plan shouldn't work out as you had hoped, for some reason you need to revert back to where it was, then we have the opportunity to revisit that wage again and not.
Of course.
Yes.
Thank you.
Would like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules and pass 20
Yes.
on first and second reading.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Sorry. Brant Fuller.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye. All right, now I make a motion, we pass 23-20 on first and second.
Have a second?
Second.
Ready?
Roll, please.
Brant Fuller.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, so those changes can go into effect for the January 1st.
Thank you all very much.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have resolution number 23-24, a resolution directing transfer of appropriated funds for building services. You want to talk about that a little bit, or?
Sure. So we have several of the resolutions tonight are just year-end cleanup, housekeeping type things, where as you end the year, you have money in some areas of your budget that could better serve you in other areas of your budget. And so that's what all of these next few reference.
The one in building services is to go to contractual services.
Yes.
Within their budget. Doesn't increase anything, we're just doing a transfer from one line item to the other.
I'll make the motion, we approve resolution 23-24.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Brant Fuller.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Resolution number 23-24 passes. Next on the agenda, we have resolution number 23-25, and it's a resolution directing transfer of appropriated funds for the street department. You want to talk about that, Carol?
Yes, I may need Superintendent Forsyth's opinions as well. This is to, there's been a cost increase in a Freightliner that was in this year's budget that we won't actually get till next year. So we're going to be encumbering these funds along with what's already in the budget in order to pay for that vehicle. Is that correct?
So we ordered the 2023. It's not going to be available, so we have to go to a 2024 in order to get it, which increased the price of $6,440. The reason for the transfer is in the aquatic bond, we had money left there. And so that's in the 300s, and we're asking you to transfer that into the 400s to cover that difference in the cost of the Freightliner.
I'll move to pass resolution 2325.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Brant Fuller. John Large.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets. Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, resolution number 23-25 passes. Next, we have resolution number 23-26, a resolution directing transfer of appropriated funds for the Parks Department.
So this one is, there's some money left in personal services from part-time and from the superintendent line that we are asking to move to line striping, which is a bid we have at Dorners Park to finish the pickleball courts there. And then also to the other amount, the $10,000 is for the neighborhood center for a new door that's remotely controlled so that they can secure that building without being on site. Which you have at your other locations, correct, Joel?
Which we had already purchased some of the hardware, is that correct?
Correct. We just need to get the money moved there to fund it.
Hardware for the actual mechanism, we have to purchase the new door so that the hardware will fit it.
Okay. Have any questions?
Is the line striping expense just something above and beyond what the project called for, or something unexpected?
So the line striping expense is, the Dorner Park pickleball courts to have the seal coat and everything done on the courts itself. With the Dorner funds that we've received, there's a shortfall,
Okay.
and so this is to compensate for the shortfall.
I think as time went on, things increased in cost more than we expected, and
We got less than from the donor than expected.
I think we probably got what we were expecting right around there, but the cost of everything has gone up, so
In order to complete the project, this is,
someone would like to make a motion?
I make a motion, we pass resolution 2326.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Brant Fuller. John Large.
Aye.
Joe Palmer.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 23-26 passes. Next, we have resolution number 23-27, a resolution directing transfer of appropriated funds for the police pension.
Is Chief Shoemaker in here?
Yes.
He is. Oh, there you are. So he requested the additional funds in police pension other services, and there was extra in the personal services in the 100s.
He wants to say something.
Please.
We've had to hire some people this year, and I need to pay the bill for their medical testing. And instead of using next year's money and then coming to get you for more money, if we could just use what we haven't spent out of the pension line, it'll take care of us for 23. Make a motion, Eric.
I'll make a motion past
Thank you,
23,
Joe.
27.
I'll second.
Roll call,
We just
please.
wanted to put you on the spot.
Brant Fuller,
Aye.
John Large,
Aye.
Joe Palmer,
Aye.
Megan Sheets, Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Resolution number 23-27 passes. Next, we have resolution number 23-29, a resolution approving amendment of the Economic Development Plan for the Phase 1 Frankfurt Economic Development Area and Phase 2 Frankfurt Economic Development Area.
So the redevelopment commission is working toward amending their economic development plan. In order to do that, they have to bring it to the city council and to the city plan commission and get approval from both you and from the city plan commission. What they are changing is they are adding that they can utilize their funds for emergency safety resources, and also they are changing what they can use their facade grant money on so that they can use it for front, rear, side, and roofs as opposed to just front facade grants. So those are the two changes that they're attempting to make. And so if it pleases the council, if you would pass that, then they can move on to the city plan commission and get their approval, and then there's a hearing process, and then we could get that plan revised.
So does anyone have any questions on that, or?
I will add that the city Frankfurt Redevelopment Commission had also, over a period of time, has made some amendments on our minutes to do this. So we've asked the city attorney or our attorney to go back and put it in black and white for us. So that's what this is all about.
Make a motion, we pass resolution 2329.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Brant Fuller, John Large,
Aye.
Joe Palmer,
Aye.
Megan Sheets, Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Resolution number 23-29 passes. Do we have any old business this evening?
Other than Joe?
Old
That was
business.
bad, wasn't it?
What can I say?
I know.
I get no respect. Isn't that Rodney Dangerfield? So. I might add in old business that the RDC did approve the $250,000 towards the fire truck.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
We appreciate that. So with the additional tonight, with the RDC funds and the ARPA funds, we should have enough to cover the cost of the new pumper truck. So we're excited about that. It's going to save us a lot of money in interest, and also the cost just keeps rising. And if we paid for it up front, it'd be at least a savings of $60-some thousand. On top of that would be the interest, so.
I think they ought to pay us interest until we get the truck.
Would you let them know that?
Keep subtracting.
Okay, I'm going to have Alicia talk to you just for a few minutes. I think we mentioned at a council meeting a while back about the bridge on Kelly Road that the county had talked to me about. At that time, they thought that they could do an 80-20 match and ask the city to pay the 20%, but since then, things have changed. So I'm going to have Alicia talk about that.
All right, this is not to be confused with the bridge on Mash Road, which I frequently confuse, so I am sorry, but this is the bridge on Kelly Road. This bridge, the county is replacing the bridge itself, and there's an opportunity to put in a pedestrian walkway adjacent to the bridge. Initially, because the county believed that because they are replacing the bridge, they believe that they can incorporate that into the 80-20 match. Unfortunately, they've just found out that they can't do that. So the expenses associated with adding that pedestrian walkway would be about $400,000. To do that, the funds wouldn't be needed until 2028. But there is an opportunity to add that walkway if the council wanted to do that. So Tom had prepared for the county, had prepared an interlocal agreement. I had edited it a little bit. There's no need to act on this tonight, but I wanted to get it in front of you so you could take a look at it and see if that's something that you wanted to move forward with. What I added to it is I put a not to exceed of the $400,000, so that way we had an idea of what we would be expending. And I also added when that payment would need to be due by, so that way we knew we had until 2028 instead of, just leaving that open-ended. We would need to come up with some sort of payment schedule at a later time. But that gives us kind of a loose outline, and then we could amend that interlocal agreement later to get the exact payment schedule. But if we did want to move forward with that pedestrian walkway, that is something that we could do at the same time the county is doing that. We would need to make a decision. The county has asked that we kind of make a decision at the first meeting in January, because they are working on getting their plans and their designs, and they could incorporate that design in with their designs and get that all worked out at the same time. So they're asking that we make a decision by the 1st of January, the first meeting in January, if possible. So I just wanted to get that in front of you so you could think about it. And if you decide not to, that's totally fine. But now you've got the information, so you can consider it.
Mention a location other than Kelly. It's on Kelly Road between Williams and Alhambra.
It's over Prairie Creek.
Yes.
It's between Williams
And
and
Alhambra.
Alhambra.
Yeah.
It's a pretty narrow,
Yeah.
So on the way kind of to the school,
So how much would the city be on?
400,000.
400,000. And
When
that's,
they first started, we thought it was going to be around 80,000, so that didn't seem too bad. Well, when he talked to NDOT, I guess they talked to the state, and they said, no, that we couldn't do that, that we would have to pay the full $400,000.
okay.
And I don't think it's something that the county was going to do. I mean, it would be if we're interested in doing that, so.
Okay. So the county need to know just so they'd have it in their plan.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
Because they're in the design stage.
Yeah,
So
okay.
they need to know whether to design it or not, so they
Okay.
need to know by January.
Okay.
So you're looking at 100,000 per year for the next 4 years.
Wow.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to do
Yeah.
the low end of it.
Yep.
But in 2028, we have to have $400,000. So that's something to think about.
Something else to think about is we could add a Kelly sidewalk and road project to our FHA submissions. I don't know how far out we are now with MASH. Is that 2027?
Yes, 2027.
So
So we could do
consider
it
that.
similar. We could do what we're doing on MASH, do similar on Kelly.
I know this is a lot of money, but if you look at our comp plan and it speaks to the thoroughfares and the travelability and the walkability and all that, it does meet those requirements. It's a lot of money. We could do a separate walk bridge later, but I'm gonna guess this is probably the cheaper option than a standalone.
Do you know, Jason, what they tell us on that pedestrian on MASH? Do you know?
80/20, the county was gonna have a 40.
That's what I was wondering, what we were thinking, that we were going to add to on MASH. About 300. So if we wait and add it on later, you're still probably going to be in the same.
Did this one allow for sidewalk on both sides of the road?
I believe it did.
Yeah, I think that was the kicker here. That way, however we decide to do a sidewalk down Kelly or future councils do, we could go either way, or both.
Jason, is there anything still available on safe walks to school or routes? Monies and stuff like that, grants?
That was an 80/20 match project too, Joe, so. Something else there's no money left, if that's what you're talking about, but that's another, totally, it'd have to be a totally separate project like the last one was.
Anyway, it's just something to think about. We can bring it back up in next year and see if we have any interest. Would you say January?
Yeah, the county has asked that we make a decision whether we want to move forward or not at the meeting in January, just so they can get their plans drawn up and everything, because they're kind of waiting on us to make a decision. So
Sounds great.
Next on the agenda, we have the approval for the 2024 meeting schedule. Carol, do you want to, I think it was in your packet. Do you want to explain that to him?
So I combined the Board of Works and Common Council meeting schedule. The meetings with a caret beside them are Board of Works only. And anything with an asterisk is moved off of the normal Monday schedule due to a holiday. Other than that, it's the same second Monday of the month date.
Anybody want to make a motion to approve this schedule?
You already approved it, right?
Board of Works.
Board of
we
Works
approved
did approve
the
theirs,
Board of
yes.
Works. Okay, you good? Everybody good with the way it's set up? If it was a Monday, we changed it to Tuesday. I don't know if that was any of the council meetings or not. In the
There's,
past-
yes.
That's what we do. Oh, you don't care, do you?
I think we agreed to that in the past, that was.
Yeah, so we just went
like
ahead and made it official. She'll send that out to the media, so we've informed.
The
them.
only two that are affected for council are the second Monday in October is Columbus Day, and the second Monday in November is Veterans Day. So those both moved.
Okay, just, I guess by consensus, we're okay with the schedule. Jason, do you have some information for us tonight?
Thank you. I won't take too much time, although I'd like Joe to sit there a little longer tonight. What I gave you tonight is just kind of a read on what we're doing, where our roads are at this point in time as far as our PASER ratings. Obviously, every year, that's a concern that we have and what we use to look at what we're going to pave each and every year. And I wanted you guys to kind of basically just focus mostly on that first page. As you can see from the PASER ratings from 1 to 10, and this one does not include what we just finished up this year, which would obviously still be at a 10 rating, but everything else from last year and years prior, since coming on and PASER being a big thing in 17, this is kind of how that reads. But as you can see, obviously, we still have a lot of work to do on our PASER ratings of 2. But we have made a lot of progress with all the money that the council has appropriated towards community crossings over the last 6-7 years. Down at the bottom, it actually looks a little better, I think, at the bottom, in the graph at the bottom that you see there, that's good and fair. We have about 36 square miles of road here in Frankfort that are either in good or fair condition, and which is about it's over half of our roadways. What I really wanted to talk about tonight, later, there's a few pages back, you'll see a lot of opportunities there on treatment options. The city really hasn't taken advantage of these options in the past. We have a couple different occasions, but what I did today was look back at 2015, which was my first year as a street superintendent, and looked at what we paved in 2015. And for instance, and I appreciate Megan again bringing it up Friday, I think it was, Thursday or Friday, about Harvard Terrace, because we were looking already at what we're going to go after in CCMG in 2024. And I've submitted some roadways to have someone take a look at it for us and give us kind of a cost estimate on about, I think it ended up being about 17 or 18 different sections of roadway. But Harvard Terrace was one of those. And it's kind of funny, I asked the guys today what they remember when we paved Harvard Terrace from Clay to Eastwood Drive. And they're like, well, just a few years ago. Well, it was a few years ago, about 8 years ago. And right now, back in that day when we paved that was a 2 PASER rating. Obviously, when we paved it, it became a 10. And guess what? It's back to a 2. So in 8 years, and this is what Mike Bowman from Milestone told me years ago, and I have a lot of respect for Mike and his knowledge about paving, but it talks about how he talked about if you pave a road within the next 7-8 years, if you don't do anything with it, you're going to have to do it again. And that's kind of explains it. Same with Krug Road is on 2015. The difference is you don't have the heavy truck traffic and bus traffic on Harvard Terrace, but you still have a lot of traffic going from the south end to the east end of the town, kind of cutting over there. So, but those two in particular are at 2s. When they were at 2s in 15, now they're back to 2s again. So kind of what I wanted to look at over the next several years is those treatment options. And I'll get into a little bit about what we used back in the day was Reclamite, which is through a company called RejuveTech, but there's all kinds of treatment options that are similar in the process, and they're similar in the cost. One of them I wanted to talk about was Maiden Lane. Maiden Lane from Hoke to Williams Road, we paved in 2015. In 2020, we did a preservation of Maiden Lane with Reclamite through RejuveTech, and that road still remains at a 6, and it was paved back in 2015. So another one is North Mash Road, was paved and redone in 2012. In 2012, it was obviously a 2-rated road. They redone that roadway. In 2020, we did a preservation the same time we did Maiden Lane, Main Street, and Barner, and those are still at a rated 6. And what I've always been told with this rejuvenation by several different people is that it won't up your Paisley rating, but it'll always keep it at a normal level, at a 6, at a 7, whatever. So it is doing what we want it to do. Looking at Blinn Avenue. Blinn Avenue was a 2-rated road in 2015. We paved it, and it is now a Paisley 4, but it's also traveled heavy with semi-truck traffic going to NHK and to ADM and places like that. So you do see that, but a 4 is about as low as we want to go in rejuvenation. We don't want to go too much lower than that. 5 is probably ideal and above, but 4 is probably as low as we'd ever want to go with any kind of rejuvenation. And then Barner Street's another one I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about. Barner Street was something we paved in, I want to say it was, I think it was on the list the first time we did 17 for CCMG. And we did it from the point at Moore Street all the way to Jackson Street. And that is still a 7, and we used rejuvenation on it in 2020 as well, except for east of Rossville Avenue, going to Jackson Street, because we have railroad ties in the middle of Barner Street that we weren't aware of. So that's something we're going to have to look at. But again, it proves with Barner Street being done in 17, rejuvenated in 20, and still being a rated 7 road west of Rossville Avenue, to prove that rejuvenation works. So, but I wanted you guys to have this. It's kind of a, like I said, you look at it, you can look at it one way or another. You can look at, I wish I had one from back in 2015 to what that graph looked like back then, but obviously it looks better now. I'd like to see more in the 6, 7, 8 range, and even the 9 range. 9s are a lot of times what we've paved and or milled and resurfaced recently anyway, so you're not going to reach that 9. But that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we've got some there, but I'd like to see us have more in there, and obviously still look to minimize the 2s that we know we need to do in town as well. So, but just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's something we've obviously been talking about for a number of years, especially Paisley since 17, and we're seeing a difference. We just need to keep working towards, I think, rejuvenation and trying to, because like I said, it's a minimal cost to milling and resurfacing a roadway. So that's all I have. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. I appreciate it.
And we can use CCMG for this.
Right.
If we don't want to do the paving, we can always use it for the rejuvenation.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, Alicia? Does anybody have anything? Okay, I do. I do. Well, first of all, this is our last meeting for a couple of the counselors. Grant, this is your last meeting. Joe, your last meeting as well. Joe's given a lot of years to the city of Frankfort. He worked at the fire department, I don't know what month it was it July? Because we're real close, we're real close. You started in March as dispatch.
Right.
July of 1978 to 2008, you worked at the fire department. You've been on the city council now from 1991 to 2023. So you've given a lot of your life to the city of Frankfort. You've been dedicated. I know you're going to continue to work for the city of Frankfort. Work hard for us. You're involved. You're just too involved. You're not going to just walk away from us. So you've got Main Street, you've been on the RDC, a lot of things that you've done for our community. And I want you to know how much we all appreciate you and all that you've done.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed every minute of the council. Well, there's been a few times that might have been a little hair-pulling, but I've enjoyed working with each and every one of yous, and even the past council members that was here. I love this city. I will support this city till the day I die. So
Right there.
that being said, thank you.
Yes. You've helped get a lot accomplished for this city. So with that being said, would you step down here? So Joe, on behalf of the city of Frankfort, City Council, Board of Works, I want to present you with the key to the city of Frankfort for all your years' service and your dedication.
So he's the best Democrat I ever worked with on the council.
You remember that, too.
Joe, that key doesn't work on the jail, so. Stay out of trouble.
Check that out for me.
Hey, Joe, you just call me. I'll take care of you.
I got an attorney.
So feel free to stick around and let Joe know how much we appreciate him, what all he's done for the city.
I need signatures before you all leave.
About 3 months.
Signatures.
No.
Good. 40.
I told you 45.
You and I both.
Yep. Yep.
Now.
Not 45 yet.
Did we have a motion for adjournment?
Palmer.
No, we haven't.
So second.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
Council people, please don't leave without signing these.